I'll beat you, Kaiba. I put my grandfather's deck on it.
Well, you guys saw the title. Yes, there actually is an uncut dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! And how awesome it is that it's spread over 3 volumes of DVDs. So let's check this out. Let's check out the uncut dub version of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. Unfortunately, there's only 9 episodes. Maybe there's more, I'm not for sure on that, but let's check it out. Let's get ready, get your cards ready, and let's duel. Let's go!
No way! It's Exodia! You're saying you performed a miracle?
Hellfire's Rage! Exodo Flame!
On to Volume 1. Volume 1 actually didn't have that much cut out of it, but the dialogue does change up a bit. We have Kaiba versus Yugi, and Yugi actually saying the word hell, as you guys seen in the very first clip. The dub is actually a little slow. You know, the pacing of the dub is quite slow in this one, but it does work on a pretty good level. In fact, I think Volume 1 was probably their most sold DVD set out of the entire franchise of the Uncut Dub. It worked really well. Hell, it's mainly the first 3 episodes, and that's about it. You get the duel with Kaiba, Yugi trying to save his grandfather, which is the duel with Pegasus, and then we get them preparing to get on the boat, stuff like that.
We shall meet again in the kingdom. That is, if you want to reclaim what's most dear to you.
However, despite the very slowed down dialogue, it still feels very organic and pretty realistic. In fact, it did so well in sales, they went ahead and did Volume 2. I give the Volume 1 3-episode DVD set a pretty good, solid 5 out of 5 stars. They actually were able to use the original voice cast. Well, for the most part, my voice doesn't sound so good, and they were able to keep it pretty decent and watchable. I wish they would have continued on. Well, let's move to Volume 2.
Champion was the real fluke. You misread my cards and ended up falling victim to your own plan. To put it simply, Weevil, you are very weak.
2 hits it off pretty good, starting with Yugi versus Weevil, and it does leave most of the dialogue in there, even though Weevil's actual name is Insector Hyuga, but yeah, that's just the manga stuff. Anyhow, it starts off pretty good, Yugi versus Weevil, and then it goes to Jonochi versus Mai, which is also a pretty decent duel too. Volume 2 is about, I'd say, average. I mean, the 2 Weevil episodes and the Joey versus Mai isn't bad, but it does leave some stuff to be desired. However, the dialogue is picked up here, especially with Jonochi and then Mai and a few of the other characters' dialogue. Listen for yourself.
Come on. Huh? Ah! All right! Time Wizard!
Huh? Time Wizard?
Weevil, I applaud you for having the courage to finally battle me.
I figured if I finally beat you up front, the rest would be a breeze.
Yeah, Volume 2 is about pretty average. It actually gets a little better once we get to, say, Volume 3, but I'm still talking about 2. The music and the dialogue is a little better, but they did keep some of the American names, but they kept the Japanese last names too, which works out really well. So I am really all for Volume 2. Let's just jump over to Volume 3.
Yugi, I'll have my revenge. I'll have my revenge on you.
And we're on to Volume 3, which consists of the Mako duel between Yugi and Mako Tsunami. I don't think that's his actual Japanese name, but I just go by that because I'm so used to the fucking 4Kids dub, and they do call him that in the English dub. However, I will say in this volume, the dialogue is just a tad slow, especially with Mako. I mean, listen to some of his voice and dialogue scenes here.
You did it!
All right!
You actually used your own card to reduce your own field size. Wow.
Well,
I have lost. You're the greatest, Yugi!
Have also the Ghost Kaiba duel, which in itself is okay because that also has the Mokuba kidnapping thing and whatnot, but there's just one problem with it. The duel finishes on episode 10, and you don't get to find out who this ghost identity is until episode fucking 10. And then there's the problem with that. Volume 4 was never released, or was never dubbed.
Or was it?
Yes, there is a Volume 4, or there was a Volume 4 planned for the uncut dub. Because, well, let's look at it this way. We didn't get to see much of it, and, well, we could have seen more. What we were supposed to see was the duel between Jinochi and Rex, and also the finishing duel between Kaiba, or Ghost Kaiba, and you find out he was actually a shapeshifter hired by Pegasus to be able to take the form of other people, and then finally the two-parter duel between Rex versus Jinochi. This would have been really nice to see because it would have had my favorite card, Red Eyes Black Dragon, but we didn't get that. Instead, all we got was this trailer.
Series that took the dueling world by storm now continues with another volume of Yu-Gi-Oh! Unedited, unchanged, and uncut. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Like it's never been seen before. Experience all the action, all the monsters, and all the duels in their original form. The original dialogue, the original animation, the original soundtrack. So continue your collection with Black Flame, Red Eyes Black Dragon, Uncut. Coming soon to DVD.
So yeah, that's it. That does it on that. We never got Volume 4, it never got released, and we have no idea why they stopped. Yeah, the voice acting and dialogue was a little stilted and everything, but that's it. This is the most we got to see of Volume 4, and I would have really loved to have seen Red Eyes Black Dragon. And that ends my little retrospective of the uncut dub to Yu-Gi-Oh! We got 3 volumes and 1 missing Volume 4. I'm sure the episodes are dubbed, they just never got a physical release. And the only way if you want to see it in its full form is the Japanese version. But that doesn't stop me here. We should get the rest of the series an uncut dub. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. Always remember, I'm listening.